job a good job.
Okay. Once again, there's 2 points on this. One is personal feeling. My personal feeling is I don't feel that individual citizens should be assessed for projects that benefit the community. If you're putting a sidewalk in so that the community can use it, the community should pay for it. That's my opinion. Now, once again, it's not my policy. I don't set the policy, I would enforce the policy. And if that's what the council decides, I have to live by that. But on a personal basis, I do not believe in assessing individuals for public projects.
Thank you. Mr. Whalen.
I've lived in a community where they put your sidewalk in and send you a bill. You don't have a choice. Here, at least we got part of it was paid for by the city. And it's a policy that the council establishes. So it's really up to the council to establish that. It doesn't make any difference what my opinion is or not. It's up to what the council says. Now, when I improved my home in town, I put $5,000 of my own money in my sidewalks. This is before we had any kind of policy here at all. They wouldn't even tear up the old sidewalk. But I'll tell you what it did for me. It enhanced the value of my house. My house sold the first person to look at it. Good sidewalks enhance the value of the neighborhood and the house. You'll have to make the decision out there how you want to pay for it. Thank you.
Mr. Sorensen.
4 years ago, I established my position on this subject by adamantly opposing sidewalk assessment. My neighbors, my ex-neighbors on 7th Street, which I still rent, were put in financial straits because of this assessment. With the grants that we had available, we had plenty of time. We could have done plenty of sidewalks in this community without the assessments, and I firmly believe that is what should have been done. The city council at the time was sold a bill of goods by the city administration that this was the best way to go. And we go back to 1986 through 90, when Monk Monroe and I started a program to put in sidewalks for this community. We put in blocks and blocks where the city crew would take out your old concrete, lay the grade, and you hired somebody just to pour the concrete. We put in blocks and blocks of it. The assessments, and here's what's wrong with the assessment that you're facing. The assessments were levied out to you at a cost of $7 and some cents a square foot. We did Highway 2 over here, white collar work, for $2.86 a square foot. Somebody didn't have their act together.
Thank you. Mr. Green.
Yes, well, David and I agrees on this one. I could repeat him, but that's pretty much my stance on it too. It was poorly run from the start, and I don't think it got better as time went along.
Thank you. Mr. Whalen.
It's one of those issues that we're really somewhat done with it. What we have to do is learn from it. So when this comes up again, we approach it so there's not so much dissension. Sidewalks are good for a community. The way we're paying for them may not, but that's what we're going to have to decide in the future.
Mr. Whalen, why don't you keep the mic and I'll start the